Does this not come with an instruction manual? Nope. Delicious. Got one of my favorite drinks, and I'm excited to do another video for you today. If you're wondering, that is an old-fashioned. I do like a good old-fashioned. So today's video is going to be a little bit different. Not a reaction video, not a vlog style video, but an unboxing video. So this came in the mail today. I've been waiting a little bit for this. I'm super excited to open this sucker up. It has not been opened at all. I don't normally do unboxing videos, but I'm pretty excited to share with you what this is. And I just found out today that I will be able to use this next Saturday on the 11th. Now, if you've been with me any length of time, you may know the adventure I've been going on. I got contacted by my instructor today that we are headed back out to the lake on Saturday to finish my scuba certification. So just a little backstory. A couple weeks back, was supposed to actually on my birthday, so about 3 weeks back, I was supposed to complete the certification out at the lake. There were 4 of us in the class, and I got out there, got the wetsuit on, got all my gear. I got waist deep in that water, and you know, that water was freezing. It was about 50 degrees. It was cold outside. It was cloudy outside. It was just kind of miserable. So I got waist deep, and my body just said, no, this is not happening today. My brain kind of shut off. I wasn't thinking clearly, so I looked at the instructor, and I was like, no, I got to call it. I'm not feeling it today. Thankfully, that's really what they teach in class as well. If you don't feel right, you don't dive. End of story. It doesn't matter if there's 2 people in a party or 10 people in a party. If you're not going to dive, don't dive. My other instructor always liked to say that if you're alive, there's another dive. Now, granted, I wasn't going to die in waist-deep water just because I was cold, but it could have led to something more serious had I continued, gone underwater 35 feet, and then lost control over my motor functions or anything like that. So it could have led to something more serious. So I just called it right then. I said, you know what, we'll come back when it's a bit warmer, and we'll try it again. There's no rush for me to get this done, so I really appreciate that with the class that I went through, that they stressed that a lot. Granted, it's still February, but we are in Arizona, so next Saturday is supposed to be 70 degrees or so, sunny, warm. The water's probably not going to be much warmer, but at least the ambient air temperature outside and the sun will be out. Or, you know, the air temperature will be warmer and the sun will be out. So I'm hoping that we will get through it. It's one more dive that I have to do. That's it. It's like a 20-minute dive. I got to go under 30, 35 feet to make it a legal dive. And, you know, so it won't take much. But this is what I've been waiting for. So let's just stop talking, Nate, and open this sucker up. Boy, they taped the crap out of this thing, which I guess is good. I guess that's right there, right there. Again, I am not a professional unboxer. I do not do this for a living, so you'll just have to bear with me while I do this. So, newspaper. Got probably a packing receipt, packing list. Maybe it's a note. Sometimes I like, you know, no note. But somebody examined it, put their initials on it, whatever. So that's that. Don't need that, don't need that. This is what I've been waiting for. This is the Mission 2 by Atmos. It is a dive computer. Now, there are many different types of dive computers. What little research I've done, you know, it just blows the mind how many there are. There are some that are larger, you know, you wear them on your wrist, whatever wrist you want, but it tracks everything. How long you've been under, your depth, your surface time, how long you have to wait before you can fly, because that's something I never thought of, that you could be 100 feet under water, which, you know, you're 100 feet below sea level at that point, and the pressure is a lot greater down there, and your body collects nitrogen, which is why you have to do safety stops on your way up, so your body can off-gas that nitrogen, because if you just shoot to the surface from 100 feet down, you're going to be in some pain at the least. It could kill you. That's the bends, you know, the cramps, because everything in your body starts to expand as you rise, because bubbles rise or expand as they get to the surface. So if you were 100 feet down below and then you quit diving and you ran to the airport and you jumped in the plane and went 30,000 feet up, that's bad news. So these things will tell you when it's safe for you to fly. Now, the reason why I went with a watch style is because I figured if I'm spending the money on something like this, and I'm not going to be diving every weekend, right? So why spend the same amount of money, if not more, on something like a mini computer on your arm that I'm not going to use any other time besides diving? Whereas I could get something like this, which has many modes to it. It's not just a dive watch or a dive computer, but it tracks running, swimming, biking, hiking, heart rate, all of that. It's basically a smartwatch, but it's a dive computer. So I figured I could wear this during, there's a little bitty bug, some of my hikes when my wife and I go out, or, you know, if I want to go on a run, which, let's be honest, that'll never happen. But, you know, just in case, this will cover all of the bases. So that's kind of why I went with this model. And I'm going to be completely transparent with you. Again, I am no expert in any dive equipment. Everything I've learned, it's been on my own research or what my instructors have told me. So this is the first dive computer I've ever owned, so I cannot and will not be comparing it to anything else on the market. If you want more information on multiple types of dive computers, I suggest you just do a Google search, do a YouTube search. There are hundreds of videos out there on that. So that's what it looks like in the box there. It's got a screen protector on it. Let's pull this out. There we go. And you know, it's really, excuse me, I thought maybe it was going to be this large, even a watch style might be a bit big. You know, you get some watches that are massive. Looks like here is the charger for it. And then we have screen protector and watch band pins in this little container here. If I knew how to open stuff. There we go. All right, so it does have a couple watch pins there, watch band pins, and then some screen protectors right here, which is nice. You want to protect the screen. And then this is the watch. So let's just peel this off. It has little, like a menu on the, you probably can't see that, it's out of the light, but tells you what the buttons are for. But does this not come with an instruction manual? Nope. I guess I will be getting online. I do see, or I do have one that I found online, so I'll just look that up again to figure out how to use it. Oh, that's so satisfying, peeling that off. All right, so that's what it looks like. So I have my Apple Watch on, and for comparison, let's just see the size difference. So this is the Apple Watch 8. You know, they have the new Apple Watch Ultra, which is also a dive computer. It does have the capabilities to be a dive computer, but I tell you what, that was more expensive than this. So there's a size comparison. So this is the Atmos Mission 2, and this is the Apple Watch 8. So it's really not that big. And I have a Fossil watch, And I bet these are very similar in size. So I'm very pleased with that it's not going to be some huge thing on my arm. If I decided to wear this out somewhere, it's not going to be some massive thing on my arm. And then, like the Apple Watch, it does come with, I can't get that off, the sensors on the back that will read, can you see that? There we go. That reads your heart rate and all of that. So if we just put this on, we'll see how big it actually is. I like how many holes there are for adjustment because, you know, this is going to be going around the wetsuit. So you do need quite a bit of room for that. Well, that's not too bad, is it? It looks like a normal watch. Yeah, I bet this is about the same size as my Fossil. I don't even know how to turn it on. That's kind of a bummer. You know what? I might pause this and go see if I can get it charged a bit, turn it on, and then we'll come back because I'd really like to play with the screens a bit and show you a little bit about what it does. So let me go ahead and do that, and I will be back. Welcome back. So it's been a couple hours. I've had this thing on the charger, and it says it takes a couple hours to charge, and well, it's at 100%, and so we're ready to get going again. I did get online and got the manual for this so I could see what I was doing, because there is a lot of options in one of these watches. So I guess to begin with, let's start with the watch itself, right? So I did bring out my Fossil watch here, and as you can see, it's about the same size. So I'm not increasing a size of some dive computer massive thing on my wrist. This is going to be very comfortable to wear on a normal basis, and it's no bigger than a watch that I would normally wear, so that's nice. And so let's start with the outside. The band itself is made out of rubber. It does feel pretty solid. Again, I do like all of the little holes in here. There's quite a few of them actually, which is nice because I hate it when a watch has a hole that's just too big and a hole that's just too tight, and there's nothing in between. It's kind of like a belt. I've actually drilled holes in leather belts before because I need a hole right in between the two that are already there. This one I don't have, or I don't see any issue with finding just the correct fit, especially when I put this over a wetsuit or if it's just right on my wrist itself. These other ones like this, which have the clasp, they're really nice, but you know, it's loose, but if I take out a link, then it's almost too tight. So having this will be pretty nice. I like that it's rubber. It feels pretty solid, you know, that it won't get worn out too crazy. The watch itself seems to be pretty solid. I'm not gonna get into the, you know, sapphire glass face and titanium whatever. I'll leave a link in the description down below to where I got this watch so you can look at that information if you'd like, but I'm just going to go over the, you know, the wide angle view, I guess, of what I feel, you know, what I like about this watch. So it does have a backlit display that can be activated with your wrist. So if you pick it up, the backlight comes on, kind of like the Apple Watches, you know, where the old one, mine is an always on display, but I know some of them would shut the display off. You raise your wrist, it turns it on. That's kind of the same thing with this. It's always on, but then the backlight comes on when you raise your wrist. You can turn that on permanently, so when you're underwater diving, you're not trying to bring your arm up to try and see what it says, because obviously when you're in the water, depending on how deep you go, there's not a whole lot of light down there, so it'd be nice to see what you're doing. There are a lot of modes in here, anything from scuba, obviously, but biking, hiking, running, swimming, hair on my glasses. So it checks it's got a built-in altimeter, heart rate monitor, compass, a digital compass. It's pretty nice. You just calibrate the compass, and then wherever you move your arm, the little needle on the watch face moves. That's nice for when you're underwater. You can set a point, like your entry point in the water, so then you can go swim around. And if you get out for a ways, and when you're underwater, depending on where you are, there can be little to no landmarks to guide you back to where you were, right? So being able to read a compass, a lot of times you'll have a separate compass attached to your BC, or your buoyancy compensator, your vest, your belt, and all that, that you would set. You would get a compass reading at the start. You would figure out a point, or you get out in the water, you turn around, and if it's a shore dive, you would point back to the shore where you entered the water, get that compass reading. You'd line up the little lines. You go do your dive, then all you have to do is pull that back out, line back up the return way, which is 180 degrees or whichever way you're facing, and then swim back to where you started. This has it in a digital format, which is pretty nice. The other nice thing with dive computers is that they not only have alarms for when you're underwater, because if you're underwater and an alarm goes off, or you bang something metal against metal, you're going to be able to hear it. Sound travels a long ways underwater. This also has a haptic sensation. So basically it vibrates. So when it's on your arm, if you are under and you're coming up on that time where you need to start to surface, or you're ascending too fast, it will vibrate, and you'll be able to feel it. You can set it to vibrate and have an alarm at the same time, so you can hear it and feel it. So then you look down and you're like, oh, I'm going too fast, and it actually tells you, hey, slow down, you're going too fast. So that's pretty nice as well, that it has both of those. I probably won't have the alarm on when I'm wearing it just normally, but while I'm underwater, I will turn both of them on. What's also nice about this is I've linked it to the app. There's an Atmos app that you can link to, so it will download or sync Bluetooth to your phone, so you can record dives, you can record your trips if you're hiking or biking or whatever. But not only that, it also acts as kind of a message. It's kind of like the Apple Watch, where if it's linked to my phone, I get a message on my phone, it goes to the watch, I can just look at the watch and see the message. This actually does the same thing. I can't respond on this like I can my Apple Watch, where I can write on there, but I rarely ever do that anyway, because it's this big, whereas my phone, is much larger. I have a lot more screen real estate on this that I can respond to a text, but at least I'll be able to see on the watch the message and who it is. Same with phone calls. Obviously, I'm not going to answer a phone call with this, but I can see, hey, so-and-so is calling me. I can just get my phone if I wanted to. 9 times out of 10, I'm not going to answer it anyway, because it's probably a scam call. But it's nice that this shows up on the watch itself. So that's one of the things that I really looked for in a dive computer, is that if I'm going to spend the money on a dive computer, I'm not going to get a dive computer that I'm only going to use while diving, because I really don't know how often I'm going to be able to dive. And if I'm going to spend that kind of money, I want to be able to use it more often. So having this as a smartwatch, I can use it every day. I didn't feel as bad spending the money on this, because I get more use out of it. I can also wear this to bed, and it gives me a sleep pattern, just like my Apple Watch does. I probably won't with this. I'll probably continue to wear my Apple Watch to bed for my sleep pattern and logging all of that, because this is a little bit bulkier, quite a bit bulkier than my Apple Watch. I don't know how comfortable this will be in bed, but it's there in case I need it, especially maybe I'm on the road. I don't want to take 2 watches. If I'm on a trip, on a diving trip, I can just wear this the entire time and I can keep track of all of that as well. Another nice feature is that it also links, you have to have the app for this to work, but a weather app. So here in Buckeye, it says 70 degrees as a high, 0% chance of rain, and it also gives you the date and time down below. But to get a weather update where you are, as long as it's linked and connected to your phone, will be pretty nice as well. Especially if you're on some trip, you want to check the weather. You can just look at your watch, figure it out. This also has the surface interval. So every time you go down underwater for a dive, and then you come back up, the surface interval is the length of time that you're out of the water or up at the surface of the water. So this gives you all of that information as well. It also gives you an activity monitor, so how many hours, minutes I've been active. Big fat 0, not very active. It does count steps and calories, so I will definitely be wearing this just as a test, mainly on my hiking trips, walking around, maybe playing some sports, doing that, just to see how many calories. What would be interesting is wearing both this and my Apple Watch, because they both do the same thing with steps and calories, just to see how different they are. Because the Apple Watch and the health app, I feel like the calorie burning isn't really accurate. It's active calories that it counts, not just straight calories. I understand that. So, you're constantly burning calories no matter what you're doing, but what it's recording are those active calories. So if I'm playing ping pong with the family, or if I'm on a hike, or if I'm doing whatever around the house, it's the active calories. But it really doesn't seem like it goes down that much. I can be playing ping pong for an hour and be working up a sweat almost, and it doesn't seem like the calories are burning quite as fast as I would expect. But I'm not a health person. I don't have a degree in health. I don't understand all that, so maybe it's accurate. But it'd be interesting to see the difference, if they're pretty close or if they're way off. So I might test that out at some point as well. But to end this video, I will be doing a real life test of this, like I said at the beginning, that my dive instructor has reached out to me, and we are going to finish my certification next weekend. I'm really excited to get that done, just so I have it there and I can say that I'm open water certified. So I will be using it that day, just to get a feel for the underwater portion of it, because while I'm above water, I can't do any of the scuba settings. I can set it to scuba, but obviously it's not going to tell me anything. So I'm really excited to try that out, because as soon as you go underwater and start diving down, this is going to kick on and tell me all that important information. Maybe to check my air, make sure I have enough air. You can set this to just either scuba air, the normal air, or nitrox air, which is a higher concentration. So then it knows what you're breathing, so it can calibrate for that. So overall, I really like this. I got the all black version, obviously. I really like just the blackout things. So I didn't want the white or chrome looking one. I didn't want the gold looking one, or the blue, teal, whatever other color they have. Black is cool with me. I know it's not going to be easily seen underwater, but as long as that watch face is clear and bright, I don't think I'll have a problem. I can set that brightness low, medium, or high, so that's pretty nice as well. So I'm really excited to test this out real world next weekend, and maybe if I have enough interest down in the comments, I'll pop in another video to tell you what I thought about it underwater, which is what I bought it for, and give you my 2 cents on what I thought about it under there. So leave a comment down below if that's something you'd like to see. Also, please just let me know if this is content you'd like to see here and there as well. Obviously, I'm not going to be stopping any reaction videos anytime soon. I know you guys really enjoy when I react to things. I have a few more in the pipeline. Another one will be dropping pretty soon. So just leave in the comments down below if this is something you'd like to see here and there, dispersed out amongst the other videos. I've also started doing more shorts, just inspirational stuff. I find it very enlightening and very positive. You know, when I scroll through things and I see just a positive comment, you know, it gives me that little extra juice for the day. Let me know if that's something you appreciate. I will continue to do those. I'll probably try and continue to do that on a daily basis. Just, you know, that it drops in your feed, it gives you a notification, gives you a little pump of positivity for your day, because that's really what I want to do with my channel, with my life, is just help others, you know, achieve what you want to. And if I can do that with a simple positive statement every day, then that's more than worth it. So thank you so much for watching, and I know this wasn't my normal reaction video, but I hope you got some enjoyment out of it, maybe a little bit of knowledge out of it as well. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you and all of your support. And until the next video, I'll catch you later. Bye.